Hi guys, my name's Mandy. Today I wanted to show you how I created this text in Inkscape. So the font that I used, I got from Creative Fabrica. It's called Diana Weber. It's a free font to download if you have a subscription to Creative Fabrica. Otherwise, it's $8 to you for that font. I really like the font because I hate trying to pair them, and this here comes as a duo. So I'll include a link in the description below. Okay, so the first thing in Inkscape that you need to do is you need to make sure that you lock your screen. If you do not lock your screen, when you go to move your text, it's going to distort it. So you need to make sure that your screen is locked. So I'm just going to move this down out of the way. The other thing you want to make sure when you're in Inkscape is you want to make sure that your Align and Distribute's open. If it's not, you need to come up here to Object and open up your Align and Distribute. That just helps for later whenever you want to align your text or objects up. So over here is your icons. Up here is going to be your selector icon, and down here on the letter A is going to be your text icon. So we're just going to create our text. And instead of me rewriting everything out, I'm just going to duplicate it to make it easier. So with the text, now that we got the text written, up here is going to be all your fonts in the drop-down menu. You can either come up here and search the font that you're looking for, or you can just type it in. So I'm just going to type in ours. Okay, so now that we got text, you need to make sure that that you have it selected as on the selector tool, because otherwise if you're in the text tool, it's not going to let you select this. So you need to be in the selector tool. So now that we got it selected, you're just going to come up here to edit, and you're going to duplicate this. Okay, now we're just going to type in the next word. Now to do that, you need to come back over here to your text so that you can type in text. All right, so now we're just going to go up here and select both of these words. And I'm also going to go ahead and resize it. So to resize it, you just grab a hold of the corner and pull it out. And when you do that, both of these texts are going to be the exact same size. Now, if I only pulled one out and then the other, then it would be different. So you can also check to make sure that both of these are the same size. Is you select the text, you come up here and it will show you 197 for the believe, and down on yourself, it's 197. Now, if you misspelled any of these words and realized it after you did that, you just make sure that you're in the text button, and you can come back here and change whatever word that you misspelled. All right. So now we're just going to go and we're going to duplicate each one of these words again. Edit, duplicate. Okay, so now you want to come back over to your text tool. Come back up to the drop-down menu for your text. And now we're going to select the script version of this. Okay. So now I'm going to come back over here and grab the yourself. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to go up here to edit, and I'm going to duplicate that. And then I just need to change that into my script. So you're just doing the same thing. You come over to your text tool because you need to be in the text in order to change whatever font you want it. I'm going to click on my script. All right, so now I need one more word for the N. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to duplicate this one, edit, duplicate. Now see how it's still selected? So I can't write my word in there until I put it back over to text. So that's why you got to select the text of it. All right, so to make sure that these here's all the same size, we're just going to come over here to the text tool and we're going to click on the word believe, and it says that it's 197. So then you just come down here, select on the N, and it says it's 197. So you do the same thing with yourself, and it says the same thing. So go back up to your selector tool, and we're just going to select all that text. And you can see I have 3 boxes here. So in order to change the color of this, you just come down here to the bottom where it shows all of your colors, and that's where you can change your color. So I'm just going to change it to the purple that we had in the beginning. Now, I want to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. So you want to go with everything selected, you come down here to your little corner. When that highlights green, you just pull it straight out. Since we had everything selected, all of our text is going to stay the same size. All right, now before putting the pink layer, the script font, over on the black, I'm going to select both the black layers, and I'm just going to center them. So to do that, you just select both the text, and you click over on the align and distribute, and you click center on the vertical axis. All right, now that our black's all centered, we're just going to take our script font and we're just going to place that in on top of the black layer. So it's basically whatever looks good to you. The nice thing is you ain't got to be particular with trying to get it completely centered, because we're going to center everything after it's all placed. Okay. So that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm just going to make sure everything's centered up. So I'm just going to select all the text, and you can make sure that everything's selected, because sometimes you can go to select it and sometimes it doesn't select everything. So just make sure that there's a little blue box around everything. So I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to center everything now on the vertical axis. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could come down here to the distribute button, and if you wanted to make sure that everything was distribute vertically, Inkscape's got a few buttons down here. Unlike how Cricut is, they only got the one button. And you could play around with this. So like here you can distribute your tops equal distance, or you could distribute the centers equal distance, or you could distribute your bottoms equal distance, or you could make the vertical gaps between them the same, or since it's still in text, you could distribute the baselines of the text vertically. Okay, now that we got everything centered and placed where we want it, we need to change our text into a path. Otherwise, if you tried to put that into Cricut the way it is now, it's not going to upload. So you need to come over here, and we're going to just start with the believe, okay? And you can see down here at the bottom, it says that text is in a shape. So we're just going to come up here to path, object to path. And now it's an object. All right. And down here it says it's a group of 7 objects. Okay. So if we took it into Inkscape, that's not going to print out like we wanted it, just how it is now. Instead, it's going to be a group of 7 of them. So you need to union them, just like you would in Cricut. How you weld, exact same thing. So now you just go up here to Object, and you need to ungroup them. If you tried to union them without them being ungrouped, it's not going to let you do that. So you need to ungroup them. So now that they're all ungrouped, you come back over to Path, and we're just going to union them. So now you see, now that's all one text. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for in and yourself. You select the in, you come up here to Path, and you click Object to Path. You come over here to Object and Ungroup. You go Path, Union. Okay? And you're going to do the same thing for yourself. You go up here to Path, Object to Path, Object, Ungroup, and see how it's got all your little boxes now? And it says 7 paths. Now you want to go over here to Path, Union. Okay? So now what we need to do is we want the believe and the in and the yourself all union together. Okay? So with the yourself already selected, you want to hold down your shift key, come over here and select on the in, and then come up here and select on the believe. And now we're just going to see where it says down here 3 objects. Now we're just going to go over here to Path, and we're just going to union them. All right. So now they're all nodes, which is what we wanted for Cricut. So now we're going to do the same with our black layer. So you just click on the believe. You want to come up here to Path, Object to Path, and then you want to go to Object, Ungroup, and then you just go Path, Union. And we're going to do the same thing for yourself. You go Path, Object to Path, Object, Ungroup, and then you go Path, Union. Now that's all unioned. All right. So now you still want to union the believe in yourself, because if not, they're going to come back into Cricut and they're going to be separate. So while you got the yourself, select it, hold down your shift, and click on the believe. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go to Path and Union. All right. Now all that's unioned. Now we're just going to select everything. And we're just going to go up here to Object, and we're going to just group that. All right. That way when we take it into Cricut, everything's grouped. So now to save this, all you do is go over to File, and you click Save As. All right, now when you go to save this, save it in a spot that you're going to know. And then down here where it says Save As Type, you want to make sure that you're on the plain SVG. When you go to save anything over into Inkscape, it's always going to be Inkscape SVG first. So you need to make sure that you click on the plain SVG. And then all you do is you click Save. Once you save it, it's ready for you in Cricut. Now, let's say you wanted this to be a PNG instead of an SVG, or you could have done both. Now all you need to do is go to File, Export PNG, and then over here, you're going to click on Export As, and you can name it whatever, and it automatically saves it as a PNG. So then all you do is click Save, and it saves it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. Please like and subscribe my channel, and you can leave comments below. Thank you. Cricket.